Oh yeah, ain't no PC, brother. Not no PC.
Lil Durk's daughter posted a jail call prank online, and his ops went straight for her on camera. Now Durk is losing it from behind bars with no way to protect his family. What did his ops do that crossed every line? And did her video just hand the feds what they needed? Let's get into it. The call that broke the internet. Rap House TV posted the clip to X, a jail phone call between Lil Durk, government name Durk Devontae Banks, and his eldest daughter, Bella Banks. The caption read, "Lil Durk's daughter trolls him, telling that he's in PC while on jail call. With him free, Smirkio." And dog, within hours, the post had already stacked up over 18,000 likes, 1,200 reposts, and 1.5 million views. And it was running through Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube like a brush fire. Every single hip-hop media outlet from Complex to XXL to Hot New Hip Hop was running with it, calling it everything from controversial to heartwarming. But what was actually on the video though? Let me paint the picture for you. You see Durk, a Grammy-winning rapper out of Chicago's Englewood, a dude who done sold out arenas and made platinum records with Drake, sitting there in the Fed jumper, talking through a prison video call system. On the other end is his 13-year-old daughter Bella, recording the whole thing for what she would later admit was just a TikTok prank. She runs him a whole story. She tells him there's a new girl at her school whose dad is also locked up. And Bella says she told this girl that her father, Durk, is housed in the PC unit. Now, if you don't know what PC means in the context of a federal detention center, Smirk himself broke it down right there on that call.
Oh yeah, ain't no PC, brother. Not no PC.
And right there, you can hear it in his voice. The whole energy shifted. It went from casual conversation to dead serious in about half a second.
So PC is protective custody. That's when you're scared to be on the floor with regular people.
And that's the one right there. PC, protective custody. That's where you go when you can't walk the yard with the general population. In the joint, being on PC is basically telling the whole facility you're either a snitch or you're shook. It's one of the worst labels you can carry behind them walls. And for Smirk, a dude who built his entire reputation on being solid, on being real, on keeping it 1,000 with the streets, having even his own daughter suggest he's on PC, even as a joke, was something he had to check immediately.
Yeah, I ain't no PC, girl.
No, I was joking, Dad. It was a joke.
And then, after all that tension, she hit him with the punchline.
Oh, I was like, what?
I just saw it on TikTok, so I was trying to do it.
It was a prank. The whole thing was a TikTok trend. A 13-year-old girl doing what 13-year-old girls do in 2026. She saw something funny on the internet and wanted to try it on her pops. But the little detail that had the entire internet absolutely losing it, the contact name on her phone. It wasn't dad or daddy or pops. It just said dad jail. 2 words, lowercase. No caps, no punctuation, no nothing. Just the raw, unfiltered reality of a child who has gotten so used to her father being incarcerated that she literally named the contact after his living situation. And if that don't hit you in the chest, I don't know what will. The comments were going crazy. Users on X like Abounji wrote, "Why his contact name Dad Jail," which pretty much summed up what everybody was feeling. Others like Eler T. Blessed kept it a buck. Your dad facing life and you're pranking him? Tef, LOL. And then there were the ones who peeped the bigger picture. One commenter noting, "Damn, he's really nice and patient with her," pointing out how in that moment, behind the orange jumpsuit, behind the Fed charges and the head counts and the lockdowns, there was just a father chopping it up with his daughter. Now Bella Banks, born July 19, 2013, is Durk's eldest daughter, one of his 6 to 7 kids. Her mama is Nicole Cavone, Durk's ex from back in the day when he was still a teenager. Bella's active on the socials, runs a lil business called Bella Beauty, and by all accounts, she's just a regular kid trying to navigate a situation that ain't regular at all. Because here's what people don't want to address when they're cracking up at the dad jail contact. Lil Durk has been booked since October 24th, 2024. That's 500 plus days. 500 days of his daughter growing up without him there in the flesh. 500 days of birthdays, school functions, and regular Tuesday nights where the only way she can hear her daddy's voice is through a monitored Fed phone line. And that's exactly why what happened next was so dangerous. Because while the internet was clowning and reposting and turning dad jail into a whole meme, there were people watching this video real careful. People who understood that every single phone call that leaves the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles gets recorded and monitored by the feds. People who understood that Durk ain't in there for no petty charge. He's facing conspiracy to commit murder for hire, use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and firearms offenses. Charges that carry life. Charges tied to the 2022 killing of Saviaya Lul Pab Robinson, Quando Rondo's cousin, in what the feds are calling a botched slide for King Von. Durk's been at MDC since November 2024. Has pleaded not guilty, and every single bail request has been denied, including a whole $4.5 million package that the judge basically said wasn't even a dent in his net worth. He sat in solitary for 131 days after they caught him with an unauthorized Apple Watch. His trial has been pushed back 4 times and is now sitting at August 25th, 2026. 5 of his alleged OTF affiliates are co-defendants, and word on the street and on X is that some of them might be folding on him, and some fans clocked the danger right away. One X user went straight to the point. She gotta be careful with these kind of videos before she either implicates him further or leak info to his ops. That warning, buried underneath a mountain of cry-laughing emojis and free smirk hashtags, carried a truth that most people scrolling their feed were too entertained to sit with. Because what Bella Banks didn't realize, what a 13-year-old couldn't possibly fully understand, is that her father's ops were watching this, and the story of why they were watching, what they've been doing while Durk's been sitting down, and why this little innocent video could have consequences way beyond a viral moment, that's where this story really gets deep. The war Durk can't fight back. To really understand why a TikTok prank on a jail call even matters, why fans were in the comments begging Bella to take the video down, you gotta understand the war that's been going on around Lil Durk for years now. A war that he physically cannot participate in because he's sitting behind the walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles, which has turned him into the easiest target in all of hip-hop. When you're locked down with no phone, no socials, no studio, no way to clap back, everybody gets brave. Let's take it back. On November 6th, 2020, in the early hours of the morning outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in downtown Atlanta, King Von, born Davon Daquan Bennett, pulled up on Quando Rondo in the parking lot. What jumped off as a fade between the two crews turned into a full-blown shootout. 6 people got hit. 2 didn't make it. One of them was King Von. The shooter was identified as Timothy Lul Tim Leaks, one of Quando Rondo's day ones. Von got rushed to the hospital, but he was gone. King Von wasn't just some rapper on Durk's roster. He was blood. He was the youngin' that Durk had taken under his wing since they were both coming up on the south side of Chicago, the one he signed to OTF, Only the Family, the one whose raw storytelling on joints like Crazy Story had him on the fast track to being the hardest voice in drill. When Von got killed at 26 years old, he didn't just leave behind a catalog of music. He left behind an open wound in Durk's world that has never closed, and that wound is now the entire foundation of a federal case. 2 weeks after Von got laid down, Quando Rondo dropped a track called End of Story, talking his talk and claiming his people acted in self-defense. He shouldn't have never put his hands on me. Look at the footage. That's all the evidence. Charges against Lul Tim were eventually tossed in August 2023 under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. But by that point, the internet had already made its demand. Millions of comments flooded every platform with the same 2 words, slide for Von. The internet wasn't mourning no more. It was demanding smoke, and that phrase, slide for Von, became the 2 most dangerous words in modern rap. Durk even spoke on that pressure before all this went down. In a podcast interview, he talked about the weight of what the internet was asking him to do.
I real life try to stay out the way because it's like, the people behind me, the knowledge I got behind me, the leaders I got behind me.
And what it really meant. He was talking about trying to stay on the right path, trying to channel all that pain into something that wouldn't land him exactly where he is right now. But according to the feds, the pressure won out. The government alleges that Durk did exactly what the internet was begging him to do. According to court filings, Smirk put a bag on Quando Rondo's head, a bounty offering bread and lucrative music opportunities to whoever would handle the lick. Nearly 2 years later, on August 19th, 2022, 5 alleged OTF members pulled up on Quando Rondo's Cadillac Escalade at a gas station in West Hollywood and let it fly. They missed Rondo. They hit his 24-year-old cousin, Saviaya Lul Pab Robinson, instead. Wrong target. Fatal outcome. Durk got booked on October 24th, 2024 in Broward County, Florida, while he was trying to hop on a private jet to Italy. FBI paperwork showed he also had tickets to Dubai and Switzerland booked for that same day. Like he was ready to bounce from the whole country. He caught conspiracy to commit murder for hire, use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and gun charges. If the feds get their way, he's never coming home. His bond got denied every single time, even when the team put up $4.5 million, because the judge said he's a flight risk, and honestly, the flight bookings kind of proved it. And while Smirk's been sitting down, unable to post, unable to drop music, unable to say a single word back to anybody, his enemies have been having a field day. Straight clown festival. Tekashi 6ix99 has been the loudest and the most disrespectful. In an April 2025 interview, 6ix99 went on record saying his trolling, specifically making slide Slide for Von go viral is what baited Durk into crashing out and catching this case. On a December 2025 live stream with Adin Ross, he called Durk a fake Muslim, spitting bars like, "Assalamu alaikum, wasn't you just eating bacon? I hate a pussy now we're faking." He was basically saying Durk only found religion as a jail survival tactic, not because he actually believes in it. Then in January 2026, 6ix99 dropped a whole track called Bacon with Adin Ross and Cuff'em, where his verse was aimed dead at Durk's faith and his situation. He went to jail. He on some Alhamdulillah, Inshallah, Bismillah. When you was gang, it was no Allahu Akbar. And here's the crazy part. Durk addressed this exact type of clown behavior before he got booked. In a podcast sit down, he spoke on how he handled 6ix99's antics when he was still a free man.
If he say anything, I'm gonna post it.
I just don't take him serious.
That was the whole vibe. Don't feed the trolls. Don't give them the energy they're fishing for.
It's just niggas like that. Like I don't take serious. Like,
but now, locked up in MDC Los Angeles with no phone, no internet, no nothing, Durk can't even choose not to engage. The choice has been stripped from him entirely. And that silence, the silence of a man who used to move millions of people with every bar he dropped, has given every op, every troll, every clout chaser with a Wi-Fi connection the green light to go crazy. It's open season on Smirk, and he can't bust back with so much as a tweet. DJ Academics has been linking up with 6ix99 on streams to mock Durk's arrest, taking credit for getting Slide for Von into the mainstream and joking that Durk got tricked off the streets. In a January 2026 podcast, Academics talked about Durk's own homies switching up on him while he's down. Old clips of Adin Ross FaceTiming with Durk and asking him goofy questions about jail resurfaced and went viral all over again, the irony hitting harder than any diss record ever could. Even podcasters like Trench's News been in the mix, calling Durk a fool for crashing out. And it ain't just the outsiders. The loyalty issue is hitting closer to home than people realize. Word on X is that some of Durk's own affiliates been going ghost on him, falling back, keeping distance, acting like they don't know bro, now that catching a Fed case by association is a real possibility. The man who built his whole empire around only the family is finding out from behind bars which members of that family were only riding when the ride was smooth. Meanwhile, the legal picture keeps getting uglier. The trial, originally set for 2025, has been pushed back again and again. January 2026, then April, now August 25th, 2026, because of the crazy volume of evidence. Over 30,000 pages, co-defendant motions, and complicated evidentiary rulings. The prosecution got an Instagram DM admitted where Durk allegedly typed, "I got them hunting you up," to some unidentified op, and the judge ruled it's coming in at trial as proof of his leadership role. And then there's the bars, his own bars. Prosecutors want to play lines from, "Ah, ha, they be on my page like Slide for Von. I know they trolling me. Got it back in blood, y'all just don't know." That's how it posed to be, right in front of the jury as evidence of motive. An attorney who's been tracking this case closely kept it all the way real about how bad that is for Durk.
One thing to keep it a buck, and just to not sugarcoat it, the lyrics that Durk has out there about Slide for Von, I got it back in blood.
That's heavy. His music, the art he thought was just music, is being loaded into the chamber and aimed right at him.
All that stuff is in. All that stuff is incredibly damaging to Durk.
And the attorney didn't sugarcoat what Durk's public record has done to his defense.
Had those things not been released into the public record, my God, this would be a much easier case to defend.
So when you hear all of that, the trolls running wild because he can't respond, his lyrics being flipped into prosecution exhibits, the DMs in evidence, the trial getting pushed back while he rots for 500 plus days, and then you see his 13-year-old daughter posting a jail call to the internet for a TikTok trend, you start to understand why certain people weren't laughing at all. The cost of going viral. Alright, here's where it gets real. The part nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs to understand. The part where we pull back from the memes and the dad jail, jokes and the free smirk tweets and actually look at what this viral moment could cost Lil Durk in the long run. Every single phone call that goes out from the Metropolitan Detention Center is automatically recorded and monitored by the feds. Every single one. They tell the inmates this before every call. Those recordings ain't private, they ain't privileged, they're not protected like attorney-client conversations are. So when Bella Banks recorded that call, posted it on socials, and it blew up across every major platform on the internet. She essentially took a federal inmate's monitored phone call and handed it to prosecutors, defense lawyers, future jurors, and literally anybody with a phone on a silver platter. Now, was what Durk said on this particular call incriminating? Nah, not directly. It was a prank about protective custody, but peep what Smirk actually said on that line. He stated, clear as day, PC is protective custody. That's when you're scared to be on the floor floor with regular people. I ain't in no PC. That's where snitches is at. The feds could spin that. They could argue that this reflects his mentality, his commitment to the street code, and his role as OTF's shot caller, which is the exact narrative they're building to convict him on the murder for hire charges. And it would slide right in next to the lyrics, and that Instagram DM already ruled admissible by the judge. And it ain't just about what he said on the call. Durk already has a whole track record of phone violations at MDC, using other inmates' accounts to make calls, setting up unauthorized three-way calls, moves that have directly hurt his bail chances and got him thrown into the SHU for 131 days straight starting August 2025. If this call getting posted on the internet violates MDC's rules about media dissemination, that's more sanctions, more time in the hole, and more ammo for the prosecution to argue that this man cannot follow rules and shouldn't be released. Then you gotta think about the jury pool. This video got seen by millions of people. The trial is set for August 2026. Every potential juror sitting in the Central District of California has now had the chance to see Durk in that orange jumper, hear him check his daughter about PC, and soak up the whole narrative around his incarceration. Durk's legal team could push for a change of venue or enhanced jury screening if they think the viral content has contaminated the pool. But let's be real. The damage is already done. You can't unring that bell. The legal heads following this case have been sounding the alarm on exactly this point. One attorney broke down how the prosecution's whole game plan has evolved, how they shifted from saying there was a direct cash bounty to talking about lucrative music opportunities, threw in a backup stalking charge, and are basically constructing a case that's designed to survive even if individual pieces of evidence get tossed out.
Interestingly, at the same time that the government pivoted from saying Didi paid the shooters to saying, hey, it was putting people in music videos.
That switch up is major. It means the prosecution ain't putting all their eggs in one basket. They're building a whole web, strand by strand, designed to catch Durk no matter which direction he moves. And every new piece of public content, every new viral moment, gives them one more thread to weave in.
They also added a fallback charge. So when they bought the case, the original indictment, there was no stalking charge. In the second superseding indictment against Durk.
And when you hear what that stalking charge actually means for sentencing, when you understand why the feds felt the need to add a plan B to their plan B, you understand why the stakes are as high as they've ever been.
They added a stalking charge. And the stalking charge is important because it doesn't require any contract. No quid pro quo, no bounty, no payment theory.
No contract, no receipt, no proof anybody got paid. Just proof that Durk pointed somebody in a direction and said go. And if death resulted from that, the penalty is up to life in prison, the exact same number the murder for hire charge carries. It's a safety net for the prosecution, and it's terrifying. Another legal analyst tracking the proceedings put it plain. The feds don't build a case this big and come to court empty-handed. What we've seen publicly is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Meanwhile, even people who've been around Durk personally ain't sugarcoating the outlook. Adam 22, who has sat down with Durk multiple times on camera, was straight up when asked.
How do you think this thing will end?
I think he's cooked. I think these guys are telling on him. They've got a mountain of physical evidence, digital evidence, and you got his, gang members that he was doing illicit acts with.
And what he said next pointed to the one thing that could bury Smirk deeper than any bar or DM or viral video ever could: his own people flipping.
And they seem like they're lining up to tell on him.
That's the whole picture right there. Co-defendants who may be cutting deals, a prosecution that's been sharpening its blade for over a year, an anonymous jury motion that, if the judge grants it, could flip the whole energy of the trial. And now, sitting on top of all of that, a viral video that, no matter how innocent the intent behind it, has added one more piece to an already impossible puzzle. And here's the part that really messes with you. When you strip all the legal talk away, the court filings, the source citations, the trial dates, all the noise, and you just watch that video back one more time. Watch that video back one more time. When you hear Bella's voice setting up the prank with that breathless kid energy. When you see her recording herself waiting for the call to connect, fidgeting with her phone the way any 13-year-old would. When you catch the little sister, possibly Willow, Durk's daughter with India Royale, sliding into the frame in the background like it's just another regular day in the crib, you realize you're not watching a calculated PR move. You're not watching some strategic chess piece being deployed between ops and lawyers and federal agents. You're watching a kid who misses her pops, a kid who got his name saved as Dad Jail, because that's literally what it is. Her dad is in jail, and that's just her reality now. now, 500 days deep. A kid who saw a funny TikTok and wanted to make her father crack a smile from behind a screen, in an orange jumpsuit, over a phone line the government records every word of. A kid who, for 30 seconds, got to hear her daddy laugh, and that was everything. That was the whole point of it. No credible sources indicate Durk is actually on PC. His denial in the video lines up with public records showing he's been in general population since January 2026. His Opps, Quando Rondo, Lul Tim, FYBJ Maney, have all stayed quiet on this particular video, even though they've had smoke for him in the past. And the overwhelming majority of the reactions have been love, fans flooding every comment section with that free smirk, an appreciation for the rare, humanizing glimpse behind the walls. But the fans who warned her were right. In a world where the feds have already turned Instagram DMs, song lyrics, podcast interviews, and random fan comments into weapons to build a murder-for-hire case against a rapper who's staring down a life sentence, nothing is off limits. Not a single thing. Not even a 13-year-old girl's TikTok prank on her locked-up father. And as Durk's trial date creeps closer, August 25th, 2026, unless they push it back again, every piece of content that hits the public record, no matter how small, no matter how innocent, becomes one more card stacked on an already teetering house that could fall either way. Lil Durk is still behind them walls. His daughter is still saving his number as Dad Jail, and the whole world is still watching. Whether it should be, that's the question ain't nobody bothering to ask. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.